Good afternoon. Good afternoon, and welcome to CitizenAY, the platform where we speak truth to power. As you see, as the broadcast states, we are currently blocked on Facebook. So we are doing what we can. We'll be back on Facebook by Thursday. But in the meantime, what I want to do is to obviously just, be in touch with everybody. I'm going to try and, when you get this broadcast, try and share it. That's the best thing you can do. The best thing you can do for us is to share. And we always say to subscribe to us on Oduduwa TV Radio and on CitizenAY. It is even more important now that Facebook are blocking us. They blocked me for 3 days because I spoke truth to power. They blocked CitizenAY for 3 days because we spoke truth to power. And that's okay. I mean, we just have to just be matter of fact about it. We are here to expose lies, to make sure that people understand what we are saying. That it's not about us allowing Facebook to control our thoughts, what we say, what we do. No, we're not going to accept that. We're not prepared to accept that from Facebook. So forgive me if I'm just trying to get a few things going. I'm going to try and share this I want to share it so that people can join me. I'm going to share that right now. I just do that next. So when you see this broadcast, you will see me live. I'm going to share it on a number of platforms again, just to make sure people can join me. It's very, very important. We speak truth to power. We shouldn't allow ourselves to be dictated to by those who believe that they have the absolute power. One of the things that I wanted to really talk about now is there are things that we need to start calling out people who are trying to silence us. There are these sets of people which you see in the top of the broadcast there. It says here, let me see if I can zoom in on that broadcast and maybe if I can expand it a little bit. Let me see. I'm going to read it to you. In fact, I'm going to go into it. So it says here, Northern Elders allege plot to weaken the region ahead of 2023. Now, we keep saying it. There will be no 2023 elections. And it's important that we all make sure that we tell people about that. Because some people have an agenda, obviously. They have an agenda, and their agenda is to make sure that we end up doing 2023 elections. And there's no election. The nation, it's a fraudulent nation. That's the point. The point is, it is a fraudulent nation. So why would we want to continue in a fraudulent nation? Why? Ask yourself that question. Why would you want to continue to be part of a fraudulent nation? The answer is nobody wants to be part of continue to be part of a fraudulent nation. So we are urging everybody, we are urging you all to please make sure that we take part in what is going on. We do not subscribe to the idea that we are going to continue to be in that contraption any longer than necessary. And that is very, very important for us all to be, to reiterate strongly. I strongly urge us to reiterate it and to stand by that. So when you hear people say things like, oh, you know what, yes, you can do this. Oh, yes, you can, when they start telling us that, yes, we need to believe in that. We need to believe in Nigeria. And then you have they call them Northern Elders. Northern Elders allege plot to weaken region ahead of 2023 elections. It's nonsense. This is all propaganda. It's important we understand that this is all propaganda. What they are trying to do is to occupy our minds. Now, at this point, I want to start pointing out. We need to start calling out. There's something that I've termed HSS. And it is that HSS stands for Humbled Slave Syndrome. Let's see if I can put it up here. I'm going to try and put it up and make sure that we can, and I will talk about it. And I will try and give you my own definition of a humbled slave. On top of that, of course, we will now talk about the fact that the humbled slave now has a syndrome. So now let me just, because it's important we call them out. So humble slave syndrome. So just I'm doing that on the fly as I'm doing that because it's important to talk about this. It's important. Please, when you come in, join the broadcast and share and share and share. Currently, CitizenAY is blocked on Facebook because I spoke truth to power. I spoke about the actions of the Fulanis, many of the Fulani leaders who are running that contraption called Nigeria. We're not a nation. It's a contraption. But when you say that, it seems as though those who are in control, they don't want to hear that. But we need to speak truth to power. We have to speak truth to power. We cannot allow ourselves to be dictated to by those who are there to ensure that we are, we are enslaved in our own land. So this is what I call humble slave syndrome. Just give me a minute, please. I'm doing this on the fly as I'm talking to you. So please do bear with me. Let's do something to that one a little bit, just to give it a bit of color. Yeah, I think that's it. Okay. So you will see that come up. Okay. So that is a humble slave syndrome that I'm going to talk about. Now, what is a humble slave syndrome? Firstly, who is a humble slave? A humble slave, that means that for you to be a humble slave, that means that you now, somebody has come to your land and they've taken over your land. Now, when they've taken over your land, they've now decided, okay, we need to control the people in the land because they know that there's more of you than there is of them. So to control you, to control your community, they pick you and a few others to now do what they tell you. And they threaten your life. And they tell you, right, okay, on top of that, put that to one side, but we are now going to give you money. Every time you do what we tell you, you get money. So you will now do what we tell you. You will now go and speak on the issues we want you to talk about. So that, in a sense, in that situation, what has happened is that you and your ancestors who have been living as free people in your own land have now suddenly become a humbled slave. That's what we mean by a humble slave. So because it's not, see, for you to be a slave, you have to be answering to somebody else in your own land. And that is what many of our southern leaders are currently doing, including the Hauses. But the Hauses case is even more desperate since 1804, I believe it is. In 1804, Usman Danfodio came, and we all know what happened. So that, when we talk about humble slave, I want you all to bear that in mind, that the humble slave we're talking about are those who have now, as a result of all of this situation that's going on, have now ended up becoming slaves in our own land. And we are trying to make sure we call out and make people aware of these things, and make them understand that, look, what is going on right now is that every time you speak up for those who are oppressing your fellow brothers and sisters and everybody else, you're speaking not from a position of power with those who have put you there, want to make you to believe, but you're speaking from a point of a humbled slave. Now, examples of humble slaves, we need to start calling them out. Let me see if I can find some names and some pictures and things. And so I'm going to put something up. So I'm going to put, you will see something come up. So when I do this, you will know exactly what a humble slave is. So let's do this. Okay, I'm gonna pick one picture. Is that it? Yeah, let's just pick one picture. Maybe one picture will do it. I'm just trying to show you what is a humble slave. I'm not gonna say anything, but you see, people like the person that you see on here. Yeah, that's it. Now I'm going to do this. They are suffering from the thing we call humble slave syndrome. Yeah, I think that's a pretty good way. So governors that are not able to speak up on behalf of their people, they are, to all intents and purposes, humbled slave. So Governor Seyi Makinde, who has been all the while, you can see all the while he's been, oh yes, I'm this and that, and making all the promise, and being, really kind of, you kind of want to, yes, yeah, you know what, yes, I'm doing this, yes, I'm a man for the people and all that. When it comes to it, the governor picks up for everything the Fulani has done against his own people. That's a humbled slave. That's a humbled slave. So we are, and the fact that the people of Ibarakpa have not been given fair justice, except for the fact, but for Oloye, Sunday Igboho, what would have happened today is that the people of Oyo would have continued to receive injustice. And what we are saying here are for those who continue in the vein to speak up for injustice, they are humble slaves. And what is worse is that this is injustice perfected on their own people in their own land, right? That is what is happening. Oh, somebody's calling. 1 second, please. Hello, sir. Good afternoon. I do apologize. I'm right now on live broadcast. Can I try and call you? Is this something you need to say online, or can we talk about it afterwards? I'm just live right now. Yes. Okay. There's more dates coming up that will be announced shortly. I promise you. So you. Yes, and that is being done by. 1 second. No. There's more dates. Look, they'll be making an announcement where everybody will be allowed to come and participate to nominate. And I'll put your name. I've said I'll put your name forward, which I've done, to Pastor Okebi Orosi as part of the people that want to be part of this process. You're talking about the Yoruba National UK Council. So can I say something to you, please? I'd like to call you immediately after finished this broadcast. Okay, I'm just on the live broadcast now, but I do appreciate your keenness to get this done. Yeah, I know. But listen, I will call you back. I will call you back. I do promise. I'm on the live broadcast now. Thank you, sir. Thank you. So that is somebody that, by the way, I want to take this opportunity to talk to you all about the UK Yoruba Nation UK Council. There was a meeting that you obviously saw that happened. Myself and Bedu were the ones who were the media people there, and we spoke about and we brought on the UK National UK Council, the project team. What is happening is that there's a project team that has been put in place, headed by project leader Pastor Okebi Orosi. And the idea is we will have one person chosen as the leader for Yoruba people in the UK. And then, of course, there'll be a team of people around him that are going to do things about representing and speaking up for and being able to hold the governors in the UK to account. on behalf of Yoruba people in the UK. Because as it currently stands now, every one of us knows that the consular service that we have for that contraction called Nigeria is meaningless and useless. And oftentimes, many things go wrong. People are affected wrongly, jailed, beaten up, killed. There is no one mention of somebody somewhere. There is no group of people that we know that we can go to as Yoruba people and say, oh, look, sir, something is wrong. You're working on my behalf. What can you do to help us? That is what the Yoruba Nation UK Council is all about. So there will be more dates. It was a great success. We have over 40,000 views, 45,000 views as we speak. In fact, let me go and look at the date, the things as I speak to you. By the way, thank you for joining me. Currently, I am blocked on Facebook, and I'm really grateful that you've taken the time to join me on this broadcast. And as you're getting it, please do share. Do share, leave comments. We welcome comments. Currently, I am blocked. Yes, exactly, Temi Twiggy, you're absolutely right. Imagine the bunch of illiterates ruling and oppressing us in our own land. Exactly. So that is what Seyi Makinde represents. Now we are hearing also there is another. So every time we see people now, we need to start tagging them. You know, Seyi Makinde is a humbled slave. So let's even do one more thing. We're gonna start doing it this way, because that way we can understand what is going on. We can understand what is really happening. So we're gonna do that. Let me just do this now. I want to make it very interesting, you know. So like I said, there will be dates that will be announced. Some people have put their names up. About 30 or 40 people apparently have put their names up for the post in the Yoruba Nation UK Council. There will be further updates to be made by the council. Now, I'm only publicizing the event because obviously, as part of media, we do a lot of what we can do to raise the awareness, and this is part of raising the awareness. What we are suffering from at home in the contraction called Nigeria is lack of governance, lack of accountability by our governance, and nobody is held accountable for the fact that we haven't got water in our homes, we haven't got light, we haven't got security. They can do and undo, they can say whatever they want, but they do not take responsibility for what they should. And that is what we are trying to address. That is why the people who set up the project, people who set up the Yoruba Nation UK Council are setting that up. It's important to add that what they are saying also, they are only an interim team. They are only a team. Once they've elected the group of people in, they will step back from that, and they want to hand it over to Yoruba people in general to start actively holding those they themselves elect to account. So it's important that all Yorubas across the whole of the UK get involved in this process. If you're in Scotland, if you are in Ireland, if you are in Wales, if you are in England, this process affects all of us, and we need to start having a process whereby we elect one person who will be our Shiaju in UK, and this hopefully will be replicated across the world in other nations. Because as it stands right now, if you look at Nigeria, people are saying they are leaders, they lead everything else. But in reality, they do not take on any responsibility that you would expect a leader to take on. They do not take on that responsibility. If anything, they shirk their responsibility. They will blame everybody else. That is how they operate. And that is one of the things we are trying to address going forward. We are trying to address that to make sure. So that's so you can see that. So that's a humble slave right there. Right there is a humble slave. So a governor that refuses to speak up for his people, a governor that refuses to hold the Fulanis to account, is nothing but a humble slave. So there are lists of governors that are going through this, doing the same thing in that way. Again, like I reiterate, a humble slave is somebody who is actually a son of the land in which they have now been made slaves. So that's why the term humbled slave. Sorry about that. I'm just going to change it. I was a bit so humbled slave. So you can see that. So that is a humble slave. Governor Seyi Makinde is a humble slave. By his actions, he will speak up for the Fulanis. He will speak up for air of their cows, but he will not speak up for his fellow Yoruba man who has been killed. Aborode was killed. To date, we have not had anybody arrested from the Fulanis. In fact, they've actually tried to arrest a Yoruba man for the killing of Aborode, when we know that he was hacked to death by 3 Fulanis, but as he was going through the checkpoint to see the Seriki. Now the Seriki, the likes of Seyi Makinde will go and happily go and sit at the feet of the emirs and everybody else and be humbled, but they will not stand and speak up for their own people in their own land. That's what a humble slave is. So now let's go to the next humble slave that we can think of. Now, if you do have ideas, leave a comment. We want you to leave a comment. Now that we've explained to you what a humble slave means, now we're going to go and talk about the humble slave is suffering from humbled slave syndrome. Now, I'm going to try and I'm going to just give me a minute, please. Let me just do this now. Okay. Cool. So, okay. So now what that means. So a humble slave is suffering from the humble slave syndrome. And the syndrome means that every time the slave sees the person that has now made him a slave, instead of standing up to that person and say and challenging him and freeing himself, he will walk within the confines of what the person who made him a slave has laid down. So, for example, a humble slave will fight for contracts that has been set up, the terms of which has been set up by the people who enslaved them. So you will see Yoruba leaders, Igbo leaders, you will see them, oh, we're going to go for, we're going to fight for this new position. They will fight themselves. They will kill themselves. That is the humbled slave syndrome. Are you following me? Please do share this broadcast if it resonates. Let's just make a few checks to see if I want to make a few checks on the comments that people are making. Let me just see one more thing I will do before I go ahead. I just want to share this on as many platforms as I can. Like I said, Facebook have blocked me until Thursday this week, but that's okay. That's the nature of what we do because we speak truth to power, and we are not going to shirk from speaking truth to power, because if we do, then what's the point of doing anything if you accept injustice? We must speak up for our people. We must speak up. We must say exactly, categorically, that we do not in any way, shape, or form accept this injustice. We cannot accept injustice. And those who do, and they say, oh, by the way, we are working for you, we are by the way, we are backing you. The governors promised to work for the people. I would like to know, let me just see, I would like to know I would like to know if you have any trust, any belief any longer in what those so-called leaders, quote unquote, and in quotes, humble slave, if you believe anything they say. Because like I said, The symptoms that the humble slave will display is always to favor the people that enslaved them. So the Hausas, they've been enslaved in their own land. Usman Danfodio's great great grandson, Amadou Bello, said, we will make we will make the conquered slave to do what we wish, and then we will make sure that we turn the South into a conquered territory, and that they should never allow to rule themselves, and never allow them to have any rule over us. So these are the things that the humble slave are quick to buy into. They will never question or confront the injustice that their own people, the very people they promised to serve and to protect, the Yorubas, the Igbos, the Middle Belt, they will never. The exception to the rule of this, of course, is Governor Otom. Governor Otom is a great man. He fought. You notice they tried to kill Governor Otom because he is not bowing. He is not a humble slave. He is not a humble slave. He will not accept being treated like a slave in his own land. But Governor Seyi Makinde will. Let's look at another humble slave. If you do have another one that you can see, I'll be reading the comments. I'm trying to make some changes to things at the minute, but let's just say the system was playing about. We're gonna have to update and get one or two things because one of the screens just packed up literally yesterday, and we're organizing to get a new one. So the setup is slightly different, but nonetheless, nothing will stop us because we will ensure we continue to speak truth to power. We will soon be getting more. What do you call it? More. We will be getting more. Good afternoon. Good afternoon to you all. Good afternoon, Tijani Yusuf. Good afternoon, Shoduke Olayinka, Tijani Yusuf, Santiago Tosan. Yes, good afternoon to you. So please do share this broadcast as you're coming in. Currently, Facebook have blocked me because I said that I spoke and I said that I explained what the Fulanis are. You know, the Fulani, they will say announce multi-million pound contracts and promptly award it to themselves. So those that do that, the Fulani government that is, those that do that, they are crooks. Now, yes, you can't say that the Fulanis are all crooks. Yes, I understand that. But when I'm saying this, the emotive side of what I'm saying is that they are the ones in government, by any stretch of the imagination, they have make it clear to us that they are crooks by their actions. They are enslaving us in our own land. They are killing us. They are silencing us. Please, if you can, share this link on Facebook as well. Those of you watching me, if you can, do me a favor. Share this link on Facebook, and we want to ask people to subscribe to us on the platform. Like I said, you've got it on the screen. That's rolling on the screen, showing that we'd like you all to subscribe to us so that we can, Tosan. Oh yeah, nice one, Tosan. Yes, great to hear from you. So, like I said, I will be back by Thursday. But like I said, let's now go and look for another humble slave. So that, because it's important, we cannot be, we mustn't be silent in the face of this nonsense that is going on. We cannot accept it, and I don't think any of us should accept this injustice any longer. To be honest with you, let me just see. I'm trying to get you a bit more information. So, and we need to have that further clarification as to the humble slave, and so that you can identify. The reason why we are naming them is that so you can identify them by their actions. So their actions are the giveaway. So they will tell you, yes, we are working for you, we're doing everything for you, we're making sure that you can be, but in reality. So here's another humble slave. Here's another humble slave. Let me see. So you will see him come up now. Here's another humble slave. Okay. So come up now. Whoops. Okay. Whoops. He doesn't want me to do that. That's fine. Oh, come on. 1 second. Let me just try that. So another humble slave is this one here that you can see. Let me just see. I'm not trying to do that. I just want to get away from. I'm trying to just give you ideas so you understand the impact of the humble slave mentality. What I will do now and then, so you can see I've got in there Governor Akeredolu. That's another humble slave. So the humble slave, he will do everything to make those who he's supposed to serve, to make them believe he's working for them. He will try everything and make sure. But his ultimate goal is to make sure he fulfills the requirement made to him by those who enslaved him. So now we're now hearing Akeredolu said, no, we believe in one Nigeria. What we're saying, these are the kind of things that you're hearing him say. Let me see if I can give you that information about what is said. Let's see. Can I see it on here? I wonder if I can pick it up here. Let's just hear for a minute. 1 second. Let me see.
Percent. But school and get to insecurity side. He just stepped. You particularly like what the why commentator.
No, I'm not gonna. I'm gonna go to this one later on, but I wanted to start with the humble slave series first, and we need to. Yeah. So let's see. Can I make that into? It's not letting me do it for some reason. Okay, let me try another one. Can we do this one? Yeah, we can do that. Okay. So that's another humbled slave. So you can see, I'm not going to move the picture. So that is Governor Akeredolu. So like I was saying, he makes out like he's working for you. He makes out that like he's working for Yoruba people. But when he now comes out and he makes a statement, let me see. I'm Akeredolu. Let me see if I can put it out. He is for one Nigeria. So let me just put that. I'm just trying to get the idea out so you can see why I'm saying what I'm saying. Let me see. Yeah, there we go. So you can hear him now. So a humble slave will make statement like that. That's a humble slave. That man right there is a humble slave. Can you see that? He is a humbled slave. He's even signing up to what the Fulanis have given him. So the humble slave will make a statement like this. Governor Rotimi Akeredolu of Ondo State has said that Yoruba cannot break away from Nigeria. Mr. Akeredolu said why is it right for citizens to fight against what they consider wrong in their region? Breaking out of Nigeria is not an option to be considered. So who gives you the power? Bearing in mind, a governor is supposed to reflect what the people who elected him into office wish. He's to carry their wish forward. That's what your governorship is about. You're not supposed to try to silence them by saying that breaking away is not to be considered. You are a governor. You are not. You are a governor. Let me see. It says here, it's not an option to be considered. That's what it said. Breaking away from Nigeria. These are the words of Governor Akeredolu, and I highlight them. Please do share this broadcast, and I highlight them to make sure. That is the action of a humbled slave who is suffering from humbled slave syndrome. Are you following me? So let's read on. So it says, the governor disclosed this on Monday during the swearing in of some government officials, including the new Secretary of State to the state government, Oladunni Odu. The event took place in Akure State Capital. The comment on the current agitation by some people who expressed grievances arising from the challenge of the nationhood, the noises generated by seeming inaction or passive indifference on the part of the elected, you see, and appointed. And you are even admitting, he's admitting publicly that there's inaction by the government and indifference. But you want the people to ignore your indifference to their sufferings, but you still want to make a decision. You've forgotten that the people are the ones who elected you into office, Governor Akeredolu. And you are now, this is how you should show your gratitude. You show your gratitude by rejecting them. And instead, you are now walking and bowing to those who are killing your own people in your own land. That is a humbled slave, displaying humbled slave syndrome. I hope you all follow me. So these are the things that we should call it out. We should call it out. And these are the things that we really want to make sure that people understand, and they do not allow us people to be cowed. Good afternoon, Topsy She. Santiago Tortosan. Please share this broadcast. As I said, we're trying to build the platform because, like I said, currently Facebook have blocked CitizenAY on YouTube, but that will not stop us. And we'll be back on Thursday on the Facebook has blocked. They blocked us for 3 days on Facebook. They blocked us. So that's why we're on YouTube. But in any case, we've been saying it before. We want to build the YouTube platform so that we will have more options. So that we will have more options to be able to speak truth to power. That's what we do on this platform. We do everything we talk about is about speaking truth to power. And nothing, we will not let anything stop us from doing that. We will continue seriously focused 100% on speaking truth to power and raising the awareness among our people. These people that I'm talking to you about now, Seyi Makinde, Governor Akeredolu, they are displaying symptoms of humbled slaves. They're displaying the actions of humbled slaves who are now practicing humbled slave syndrome. They're suffering from humbled slave syndrome. So now let's read on to what he said. The problem, no doubt, while some have measured in their reaction to this problem, others have been less diplomatic. It's common to find groups and individuals purporting to act or speak on behalf of the rest of us. But that's exactly what you're doing. You as a governor, you should be reflecting what the people are saying to you. The people of, I believe it's Ondo State, are speaking to you. They are telling you that they want to go. You even did something, but I'm going to take a bit of credit here. We also had, you see, a humble slave would even trick his own people. Governor Akeredolu, he started singing the song, the Oduduwa song that I made very, very famous. I made the Oduduwa song, the Ondo State song. I was the one, the pioneer behind this. I started singing this song on Oduduwa TV radio around about April last year. I started singing the Ishewa Fun at every beginning of the program, and I still do that till today. When I'm on Oduduwa TV radio, the first thing that all the broadcasters do on there is to start with this song. We will start off the platform singing the Oduduwa national anthem. That we've adopted that, and when we saw that Akeredolu adopted that, we thought, oh, this man is serious. Oh, this is fantastic. The governor is actually listening to what the people are saying. But, exactly, dedicated morons. But, you know what happened? That was part of the game. You see, the humbled slave, because he's suffering from the humbled slave syndrome, he will try everything in his power to make those who are not who are enslaved under him to believe he's working for them, when in actual fact you can now see he's working for those who have enslaved us in our land, which are the Fulanis. That is a humble slave. So see, what is right for to discuss, agitate, even fight, and to right perceived wrongs, and even people for self-determination. So what can let me just on that particular point. On that point, why has Governor Akeredolu been silent when in the National Assembly, Mark Gwila the House of the Honorable for Benue was prevented from raising the concerns about the thief people displaced in their own land. He was prevented from speaking by Ahmed Wase, the deputy speaker. And by the way, at this point, I want you all to know that when they say he's the deputy speaker, it is not the case. That is just on paper. He is the de facto speaker of the Senate. Femi Gbajabiamila is just another humble slave. So let us bring that one up. I'll keep this one here for a minute. And let me go and bring Femi Gbajabiamila. So you know, every time you see them, you will see that they are humbled slaves. And I want to just I will keep doing that so that we know what is going on. They will pretend and everything else that they are working for the citizens. They will do everything. So you got his picture there. You can see him. Let me see. So that's another humble slave. He is the supposed speaker of the House of Representatives. But they will not, he's not said anything about the actions of Ahmed Wase. He cannot speak about it. Do you know why? Because he is a humble slave. He is a humble slave, suffering from humble slave syndrome. That is what is happening. They are dedicated morons. Santiago Tosan, absolutely well said. They are. Please share this broadcast. I hope it will reach more people. We do need to. We'll be back on Thursday on CitizenAY and of course on Oduduwa TV Radio. And we're doing the broadcast with others will be broadcasting from Oduduwa TV Radio. This won't stop our broadcast. They can't. They cannot stop our broadcast because we will both. I want to thank you all for joining us. We have over 100,000 followers on Oduduwa TV Radio. We have close to 100,000 followers on CitizenAY. 47,000 likes on CitizenAY, 45,000 likes on CitizenAY, 30-something thousand likes on Oduduwa TV Radio, and of course we have over 1,000 subscribers on Oduduwa TV Radio on YouTube. We have 804 subscribers on CitizenAY right here. Please subscribe, tell friends about it, and let them know that we are live on air. We're doing everything we can to build this up. It is important. We appreciate your comments, but we will keep explaining to you the humble slaves, and we are going to be pointing out more and more humble slaves to you. There are many humble slaves. There are lots of so-called leaders. They are not leaders. They are humble slaves because they've been picked because they are people that they know that they will not be able, they will never stand up and confront the Fulanese. That is why they've been picked. They are not leaders, but humbled slaves. Those who are standing next to the Fulanese, they are humbled slaves. Now let's go and get you one more humble slave from the south. There is another name that you should know of. Let's bring this name out. Let's have a look. So you can see that, like I said, Governor Makeredolu is, let me see. Let me just see if I can get that one out. Is that there? No. Let me just go back here. 1 second, please. Give me a minute. Right. That is another humbled slave. Let me see. Is it there? So, Reuben Abati. He is another humbled slave. Like I said, when Mark Wheeler, the honorable for the representative Benue, was prevented from speaking at the House of Representatives by the deputy. Now remember what I said. Although it says it's the deputy, the Fulanese, they are the ones in control of Nigeria. The man that is supposed to be the leader, Femi Gbajabiamila, is just he's a humble slave, suffering from humble slave syndrome. Now, the same thing applies with Reuben Abati. Ruben Abati came out a day or so ago, and he said that those of us, the Yorubas, they shouldn't try to go for their own. They shouldn't do this. There is no will among. How do you know? No will in no consensus. How do you know? How do you know? And then you tell us that that if for us to do that, it's treason, and you will not say anything. But the same man has not said anything about what Ahmed Wize said, preventing Mark Wheeler from speaking at the House of Reps, number one. Number two, the same Ruben Abati has not said anything when Bala Mohammed of Bauchi, I believe, Governor Bala Mohammed, said that all Fulanis from across Africa, they are welcome to come in because they are Fulanis, and every Fulani is a Nigerian. Is that not threatening the integrity of the nation, of that contraction called Nigeria, Ruben Abati? Is that not? Please leave your comments. I will try and read as many of them as I can, but I'm asking questions there. Is that not threatening the integrity of contraction Nigeria when Bala Mohammed, a serving governor, says that they welcome fellow Fulanis from across the whole world, from all of Africa, to come to Nigeria, and they will use, indeed, they are using federal government money to settle them. But Ruben Abati will not see that. He will not see that. Oh, no. He's oblivious to that. No, that's not treason in his eyes. But when the people who are being oppressed, let's not forget, Ruben Abati has not said nothing when Gule, whatever the name, Gula, what's his name again? Sheikh Gumi admitted that he's working with terrorists, and we should see them. We should apologize. We should call them. We shouldn't call them names. They're struggling. I did not hear Ruben Abati say anything. But because we Yorubas are speaking up and we're saying we are going because of the incessant injustice, Ruben Abati, the humbled slave, suffering from humbled slave syndrome, will not see that. These are the things we are talking about. These are the things we keep mentioning. So now, that is Ruben Abati. Now let's find another humble slave for you. There's many of them. Oh. No. Hang on. Did I talked about Femi Gbajabiamila. Now we're going to talk about one more. A new one. You will see this one coming up now. So these are humble slaves. And a humble slave will never speak against his master. And of course, we all know that the master, in the eyes of the humble slave, are the Fulanis. So now, here is one more humble slave. So let's get his picture out, if we can find his picture. The humble slave is none other than Governor Dapo Abiodun. Governor Dapo Abiodun displays the complete, the whole package of the humble slave. Not once has Governor Dapo Abiodun, has he even mentioned or spoke about the displaced people, Yoruba people, Yewa people, Imeko Afon people that are now living in Benin Republic. They've had to flee their land of which he is the governor. He's not even gone to see them. He's not raised anything. Instead, he said, get a bag of rice and come back home. But still, the people have left. They've left Yewa and Imeko Afon. And this man has refused, pointedly, refused to speak up for the people. He has refused to speak up. The humbled slave who is suffering from humbled slave syndrome has refused to speak up for the people who elected him into office. Are you following me? Is this making any sense to you? Is this making any sense to you? I hope you're... Twiggy said, just imagine, bunch of illiterate ruling and oppressing us in our own land. Tijani Yusuf, good program, sir. Thank you very much. Shoduke Olayinka, sir, please, can you join Yoruba? Yes, I've done Yoruba, and we're trying to build that. I've done Yoruba. Thank you. I've done that, and I'm going to try and build that more. Tijani Yusuf, Hausa. Then I explained why. Santiago Tosa. Good afternoon, my brother. How are you doing? And then you said Topsy She, Sihe. Well done, sir. Thank you very much. And then Santiago Tosa wrote dedicated morons. So these are all symptoms. They all well. I thank you all for your great comments. Very, very much appreciated. Please continue to leave your comments. We need you to continue to speak truth to power. I mean, this broadcast we can go on for maybe for an hour or so, or we might speak in stop in half an hour or so. But as we are not on Facebook directly, I cannot say anything else. But please, of course, those of you watching, please go to your Facebook page now and share this broadcast. Share it so that people can join. I would like people to subscribe to us on YouTube to build that platform up. Let me see the exact color. Let me see now. 1 second. I want to see how much people we have with us on YouTube, and as I speak to you, to be able to give you exact numbers. I don't want to just make assumptions, and I'm very, very grateful for you. For those of you that have subscribed, yeah, we have 804 subscribers. We need to get to the magic number of 1,000. So please, your assistance is needed in reaching that. We need your assistance greatly. So let me just put something here. 1 second, please. I do things often on the fly because it's best to do it that way. Now, sometimes when it comes, I have to act on it, as it were. So let me just quickly do this. You will see something come up. So I'm just going to put that up. So these are the humble slaves. There are more that I'll be highlighting soon in due course, but I'm just doing this a little bit just to give us a little bit of work on things as I go along. So here we are. Is that it? Okay, so now I'm just quickly gonna do this. You will see that there. Okay, so now, so what I want you to do is please subscribe. Let me just see. One more thing I'll add to that quickly if I can. 1 second, please. Okay, so okay, now, okay, so I do apologize that I'm sort of walking on the fly and trying to do things, but sometimes you do. It's best to do things and act on situation to be able to get things going, because we need to. Time is short. Time is indeed very short. And we need to make sure that we have things really progressing at the pace we need. So please leave more comments, and we will be reading your comments. Every single comment that we read, every single comment that comes in, we will read and we will share. So now, that is the humble slave. He's not spoken about. Like I said, the humble slave will never defend the people that have been enslaved. He will defend those who are doing the enslavement, i.e., Governor Dakwa is conspicuous in his statements about the Fulani killing Yorubas in Yoruba land. It's absolutely, it's like he's not even there. But yet, when he was going to be governor, there are no doubt bags of rice, 5,000 naira. Oil, Gari, Ankara, here, just vote for me. Now that the people need him the most, he's nowhere to be found. These are people that we should know and we need to identify and say to the world so that everybody knows that they are humbled slaves. They are humbled slaves. They are what? Call them what they are. They are humble slaves. They are humbled slaves. So now, there's another humble slave that we need to mention. Let's go and see another one. Let's go and see another one. Another humble slave is this one here. We're gonna go here. You will see. You will not know as soon as you see him. Let me see. Okay, now another humble slave is none other. Let me see if I can get him out. Another humble slave is Governor Sanwo-Olu. Let me see. I'm trying to get his picture out. Let me just get up. 1 second, please. Okay, Babajide Sanwo-Olu or Sanwo-Ku, as I refer to him. So that is another humble slave. You can see that's another humbled slave, and is displaying humbled slave syndrome. Let's see, is it there? Okay, he's displaying humbled slave syndrome. Because with Sanwo-Olu again, he will do everything. When he goes to the Seriki or the Sakin, he sits below them. He's bowing to them. In their own land. Now, if he was bowing to a Yoruba man, a Yoruba king, great. That's how we should be. Now, the other thing is this. The Sanusi, Lamido Sanusi, is in Lagos. Do you all know that all of the important dignitaries coming from abroad, when they come to Lagos, they don't go to see Sanwo-Olu or the king of Lagos? You know who they go to see? They go to Sanusi and the Sakin, whatever they call himself, in Lagos. This man is another humbled slave. He is another humbled slave, displaying humbled slave syndrome. The people of Lagos have no light. They have no water. They have no security. But the humbled slave will never speak up for Lagos people. He will speak up for the Fulani that they've now forced on us as Sakin or Seriki or whatever they want to call them. Those are who the humble slave. The humble slave bows to the Fulani who has enslaved Yoruba people in our own land. These are what the humble slave have done. Ladies and gentlemen, don't forget please to leave your comments. We do appreciate you. We will share from time to time this broadcast. It's very important that we reach as many people as possible, and we shouldn't let anything, nobody, we shouldn't let anyone stop us from speaking truth to power. I urge you all, please, share this broadcast. We need to speak truth to power at all times. We shouldn't allow anybody to cower us, to make us feel, oh my goodness, what's happening? No, it is time to speak truth to power. So we will be sharing this with as many people as possible, just to make sure that the information gets to where it needs to get to. Like I said, the humbled slaves, many of our southern leaders are humble slaves. The one exception to the rule so far is this man here, and I'm not. And when I put this up, in fact, I might not even put it up under the same vein. I will do something different for him because I hold him in high regard. I hold him in high regard such that I wouldn't even want to even go there with him. So this man is a warrior in my eyes. This is a governor that's a warrior, and you will see. He's a warrior fighting for his people. Let's have a look. Governor Samuel Otom. He's a warrior. Let's get his picture out. Let me see if I can find a picture. Let's find a picture for him. 1 minute. So so far, everybody we picked up now, we've said to you now. Let me just put. Okay, good. Now let's get him out. Is that him there? 1 second, please. I'll just get it done. There we go. That is a warrior. And give me a minute. I will do this straight away. Okay, put it here. Okay, 1 second. We're not going to do that because I don't even want to even take the chance for things to be misconstrued in any way. Right. So Governor Autumn of Benue State is a warrior. He is a warrior. You can see that. I'm just putting the picture, but I wanted you to see, it's important. And contrast that to the humble slaves above. There was an attempt made on the life of Governor Autumn, and he's been speaking up. He's been exposing the Fulani fraud, the Fulani trying to take over our land. Now, he is a great warrior speaking up for his people, and long must that continue. And he's speaking up. They've tried to kill him. He had to run over 1.5 kilometers to run away from the Fulani terrorist that was sent to kill him by the Meyeti Allah, by the Sheikh Gumi lot. And this man is a true warrior. So this man up here, that man up here, you can see, contrast him with the great warrior, as we see. See that? That is a great warrior. Now, one or two things. What I will say, he's speaking up for his people. And I want to make sure that when there should be no 2023 elections, by the way. There should be no 2023 elections because the constitution is a fraud. The local government area that was set up by the military, this constitution and the local government areas, they were both instruments of control and manipulations. Let me say that again. They are instruments of control and manipulation set in motion by the military under Babangida, then Abacha, then Abdul Salam. Babangida, Abacha, they redrew the land to favor the local government area to favor the north so that they could keep power. They then wrote the constitution, the same people, and at no point was there a referendum. At no point. But the governors who have listed so far, they are humble slaves that don't have the wherewithal to act, to ask questions. Yeah. What's the name of the app? It's Yoruba app, a Yoru app. The app is called Yoru app, Alon Luana. So, okay, thank you very much. Thank you very much, Alon Luana. Yes. So, watching from Odua Republic, fantastic. Oh, great stuff. Let me just answer that. It might not. Let me see. Let me do it. Is it? Alonilo. Let me see. Alonilo. Let me see. I hope I'm saying it right. I do apologize if I'm not saying it right. I'm trying to get this thing. It's not letting me do it. But let me see. It's not letting me do it. But thank you very much. Please continue to leave your comments. It's very, very important. You're very, very important to us. Like I said, currently we're blocked on YouTube. What I'd like you all to do for me is to please subscribe. If you're coming, if it's your first time here, and you haven't subscribed, please do so now. Click the subscribe button and do so now. It's very, very important. We do crave your indulgence in this matter at the utmost. It's of utmost importance because we want to continue. Facebook think that they can silence us, and let's show them that they don't have that power. That the fans of CitizenAY and Oduduwa TV Radio will simply carry on other platforms. They will not allow them to try any of this nonsense. That's how we should look at it. 1 minute, please. I just want to just quickly do something with this as I'm talking to you. Let me see. 1 second. Okay. So now, and also please share it on Twitter, on all the platforms. We are on Instagram, we're on Twitter. So the more you share it, the more we can continue to build this platform up. It is of immense importance that we do not stop or relent. We need to continue to push and you know and speak truth to power. And the platforms allow us to do that. The Yoruba app, I'm hoping I'm going to speak to the people organizing it so that we can actually be able to run programs on there. Ideally, that would be the best place, wouldn't it? Wouldn't you agree? Imagine if we are doing a show all on a Yoruba platform. We're doing, you know, everything we're doing. You it on a Yoruba app. If we do it there and we're all there, and we can be in control of that platform as black people, and we can imagine that. Imagine 60 million of us on Yoruba app or Yoruba app. You know, that would be something that would be, you know, that would be great to see. So I'm just trying to you know, to put that forward. So I'm going to leave this for. I'm going to leave Governor Autumn there. He's a true champion. Now let's see another humble slave that has not spoken up. Let me see. There's another humble slave. Let me see. You will see this now. They are all humble slave, and they are displaying. They are displaying. You know, slave mentality, humble slave syndrome. Let's have a look. That's not it. That's not it. Sorry. That's not it. Sorry about that. Okay, let's go here. So now, no, not him. I'm not putting that up here anyway. I'm not going to do that yet. Not that. Sorry. That's not it. Okay. So let me just get this up. Okay. So I'm trying to just get us more. I'll be showing more and more of their faces because it is important. Okay. Just trying to find the picture. If I can find it for you. No, it's proving difficult. Okay, that's fine. That's okay. We will do this. We will do it. Just trying to get that to you. So there you go. Okay, fine. So that's another humble slave. The people that will talk to you about 2020, 2023, the work, they say they're doing everything for you and everything else, and they are not really tackling the issue of the Fulani terrorists. And stop calling them herdsmen. They're not. There's evidence. We've showed you all that there's a lot of evidence that's been put forward, whereby the Fulani terrorists themselves, they've said that the government are the ones providing weapons to them to go into the forest all over the country, all over the south, and start killing people. But yet, the humble slave in the picture, the humble slave will not do anything about it. They will not do anything. So this, contrast that to Governor Tom. They've tried to kill him. He's been calling up and saying, "Look, this is my land. We are not going to be your slaves. You know, I cannot be a slave." But you will never hear them say that, because they bow to those who enslaved their own people. These people are bowing to those who have enslaved Yorubas. So, beg your pardon. So, and like I said, one of the things that we keep trying to do is to raise the level of awareness about the humble slaves who are in our midst. Point them out, because that way we know that they can't be trusted. Going forward, the humble slaves, they cannot be trusted. They cannot be trusted because they will never speak truth to power. They will always kowtow to the Fulanis who are enslaving us. At this point, I want to ask the Fulanis to please ensure you speak up, because the Fulanis have been suffering at the hands of the, sorry, not the Fulanis, the Hausas. At this point, I want the Hausas to speak up, the Hausas, because they've been suffering at the hands of the Fulanis ever since 1804 with Madame Fodio. Please subscribe to us on YouTube if you're just joining us. We very much appreciate you. Subscribe to us if you're just joining us. Click the red button and subscribe. Yes, I want to thank you. I want to yes, absolutely. Hey, Abdul Latif Salahuddin, thank you. Okay, yes, Odua Republic, yes, Yoruba Nation. So the reason why we are saying what we're saying, and we urge you all, is that we urge you all to speak up, to share this broadcast, talk to people about it, make them aware that this is sheer injustice, and the sheer injustice of the Fulani taking our land. And by the way, please, if you're a Southerner, Igbo, Yoruba, Middle Belt, stop eating cow meat. One, it's not good for your health. Two, it is the avenue they use to come amongst us and then kill us in our land and displace us. So we need to kick out the Fulanis. Let me see. There's somebody that I believe there's a message that I wanted to talk about and share if I can. Let me see if I can find that video. So 1 second, please. Let's have a look. Trying to see. No, not yet. Okay. Now, like I said, it is very important. It is very, very important for us to identify those people who are telling us that they're working for us, but in actual fact, they are humble slaves. They are humble slaves displaying humble slave syndrome. When you are under that kind of thing, you end up being you will be making all kinds of promises and all kinds of things just to get the people that you need that you promise to serve to believe you. But in actual fact, now you've now made Akeredolu, for example, he's now made himself ruler. A ruler is never appointed; he appoints himself. A leader is appointed. Big difference. A ruler always appoints himself and always make comments as a ruler. A leader leads people, listens to their opinions, makes sure that their opinion is central to how he governs the people, so that he reflects back. The people's mandate is handed to the governor for him to carry out what the people want. It is not for the governor to make his mandate to impose it on the people, because it's a mandate. The mandate of the people is when they elect him collectively. We all elect you to work on our behalf, and his job is to carry out the wishes of the people. It's not for the governor to carry out his own personal wishes. It is to carry out the wishes of the people who elected him into office. Very big difference. And many people misconstrue and understand what it is to be a governor, what it is to be a leader. Instead, they start behaving like self-appointed rulers who will do whatever they want. And that's the key problem that we face. Let me just try and make sure. Please continue to share this broadcast. It's very, very important that we speak truth to power. We've been going at this for some time now. But like I said, when you get a minute, do share the broadcast. Let's reach out to as many platforms, as many people as possible. We are trying to make sure that Facebook do not actually, we want to make it clear to Facebook that no, you're not in control. We are, and we decide when we're going to move, the things we're going to do. You cannot silence us. You cannot. You haven't. We don't give you that power. Ultimately, having a Yoruba platform is the best solution to all of this, from all of them, because when you look at Twitter, you look at Instagram, you look at Facebook, is all under the control of Mark Zuckerberg. So, and these are the kind of things we need to have: a truly independent platform, a black independent platform, for us to be able to make our own broadcast uninterrupted, to focus on the things that we want, the awareness of, or to raise the awareness of our people, to know their rights and demand those rights. And for that way, those in governance will know that the people know what they want, and they will call them to question. As it is now, those in governance now, they see themselves as rulers. They're not leaders. All of them, all of the people, except barring Governor Tom, they see themselves as rulers, not leaders. And that's a very, very important point to highlight right there. That's why we're talking about the humbled slave syndrome. And one of perhaps the most the king of the humbled slaves, because you see, back in the time when the British, when they dismantled our nation, killed our kings in various areas, what they did is they forced them to sign that they would trade only with UK. They would trade only with the British government at the time, and that is what conquered, what humbled slaves does. You bow down to those who are enslaved in your land, and many of our kings became slave kings. Are you following? They became slave kings. One of the key things to remember was about Kosoko, and Akitoye. Kosoko resisted, but because Akitoye said, "I want to get my thing back," he did all that, and what happened was the situation became such that it he now once the British won, his son Dosumuna was forced to sign, Akitoye's son, because Akitoye came back into throne, and once his son came back, his son now became a slave king in a ceded territory to the British. So these are things for us to understand. The leaders we have now, they're not leaders, they're rulers. They actually they make themselves rulers, but they are humble slaves working for the Fulanis. And we need to call all of this out as much as we can. Ladies and gentlemen, my time has come. I need to end this broadcast, but I wanted to I hope you can share this broadcast. The broadcast is principally about the humble slaves that are so-called, that pretending to be leaders, but in actual fact they are humble slaves with a ruler mentality. But in actual fact, they will never be anything, because they are being humbled by the Fulanis, who are controlling their every move, and yet they cannot speak up and hold the Fulani leadership, so-called government, to account, even though the Fulanis are killing our people all over the South every day. And we need to be aware of this. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you for watching CitizenAY, and the platform where we speak truth to power. I'll be back later on at some point to talk some more, and watch out for some more videos. Thank you for watching. I appreciate you. Please do share, and share this podcast.